o nauna I ta hala me ta lai hua. E halele hua no e nata no e. O tau no ia e ano I nei. E ali ane ho'i o ka hiki mai. A hiki mai no ko. A hiki puno me ke aloha. Aloha e.
We're in such a precarious situation here in Hawaii in the sense of energy security and making sure that we have the balance of protecting our environment, protecting our agriculture, but also making sure that we have renewable sources of energy. We're so dependent on things being shipped in, everything from oil, fuel, food, and so the more we can become self-sufficient in all of those areas, then the greater security we can provide for all of our citizens across the state. I first knew about this project and learned about it over 6 years ago when I was working as a legislative aide for Senator Akaka in Washington, and we brought a whole bunch of folks out from the U.S. Senate to take a look at seeing what the potential is there for this kind of facility. So for me it's special to come full circle now, being sworn in as a new member of Congress, and to see it actually coming to fruition and seeing what kinds of other projects we can build based on the precedents that they've set here.
This project means Kaua'i finally taking another step towards being energy efficient, towards lessening our dependence on oil, towards infusing our economic opportunities for the people that live here, and keeping Kaua'i the same beautiful place with the natural beauty. And projects like this involve many, many hours of discussions with different key leaders, government leaders, business leaders, as well as the community as a whole. So we're working it to make Kaua'i a place where we're setting an example that we are responsible for our island, and at the same time utilizing all the resources that come our way and really sorting through a menu of opportunities as we continue to make Kaua'i the best place in the world.
Green energy!
I am so proud that it's something that's actually started here on Kaua'i, a different initiative. I'm really happy because like the Big Island has the geothermal, the Maui County has their wind turbines and such. You know, Kaua'i, we're going into a different direction. We can't necessarily do some projects because of us being the island that protects the birds and the ocean resources. So I think, you know, this is just so exciting. I'm just totally happy that it's Kaua'i that's doing this.
If we're thinking about where we're at right now, we're in the plant site. It's a 64-acre parcel, and we know we've got the tie-in on the backside here with the power lines, and we know that's one of the reasons why it's so low cost is because you've got one pole away that electrical tie-in. But when it comes to how it affects us on Kaua'i, how does that affect the household finances, the cost, you know, that's so key for all of us?
Right. Well, I think in order to talk about that, you got to talk about the energy mix. And you know, we know, you and I know, but a lot of people out there may not know that it was just, I think, 2007, we were 95% oil and 5% other, which was a little bit of biomass still left at Gain Robinson and some hydro through all the legacy plantation hydros. Right now, as we stand here, even before this, that mix has gone to 90-10. We've made some good progress. We've increased a lot of solar.
So we're about 10% renewables
10%
and
renewable
90%
right
fossil
now, and
fuel.
still 90 fossil. And that's despite GNR going out of the biomass business. We've been able to make some gains. This plant will double that. This plant easily is going to be 10%. It's going to be probably more like 12%. And so that's a huge gain. That gets us down to 80-20 now.
What does that mean? I mean, when I try to explain to others, okay, with photovoltaic, it's working, say, 24, 26% of the time producing energy. This is over 90% of the time producing energy.
Yeah.
And they call it firm power. Why is that?
Well, I mean, the benefits to that are that the intermittent stuff, we have to have something else out there to back it up, whereas firm power, a plant like this is going to be, doesn't need to be backed up. This is going to be on 24/7 at the dispatch we know it's going to be at. Solar farms, what we're finding is even though they're intermittent, we're only getting their maximum potential between the maybe 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. time of the day. So it's not even throughout the whole day. It's, on the shoulders, it's much less. And so that, if you were to take the same size megawatt plant for a solar farm as compared to what you guys are doing, your plant would deliver 12% of the island's energy mix. The solar would only do about 2%. And so that's huge. That's really moves us toward our goal of the 50% renewables by 2023. This is a big part of it.
So Brad, if I understand you correctly, with the 12 megawatt photovoltaic plant in Anahola that you'll be working on, that produces about 4 or 5% of the energy of Kaua'i. And with the biomass at 6.7 megawatts, that produces, if you look at it, about 11 or 12% of the entire energy, even though it's half the megawatt size. And the benefit, I guess, is because it's always producing.
I think a comment on that, what I'm thinking when I hear you talking, is that it really, what people, we always try to make them understand is that it's really about the portfolio, the whole portfolio. We need a portfolio approach. We don't want to go down the road like we did years ago of saying, well, diesel's cheap, oil's cheap, we'll build everything out there. And we don't want to look and say, well, we just want to do biomass now, we just want to do hydro, we just want to do solar. We really want to get a nice portfolio so that we can kind of spread risk around. And what that'll do is that'll stabilize bills and put downward pressure on them, because all the deals we're doing are cheaper than oil currently. And as most of us tend to agree, oil will continue to rise. That'll make them even more valuable to us. And they'll be stable. You won't see those wide swings that people in Kaua'i have come to see in the last few years with their bills. So that'll help.